All right, so this story is for my aspiring collegiate athletes, current student athletes who are attempting to put themselves in a position to help them land a position on the college level. So a quick story for you. So going on my second or third year, we had a few athletes who were deemed as elite athletes and had potential to go to the NCAA, either Division II or III level. However, one of our students, he was pretty above average academically. He had a 3.6 GPA. You know, at that time, years ago, I mean, a 3.6 is pretty competitive. He also played multiple sports, which is also a competitive edge, which I would definitely discuss on a longer form of speaking on my YouTube channel, which is Every Rep Counts. But he also had that going on. He also was involved in clubs and so forth. He was, well-rounded in the community. So he had and checked off a lot of the criteria which college coaches are looking for. However, he had his emotional IQ was rather underdeveloped. He tried to mask that as passionate or being passionate, but it was simple, immaturity. Got to the point, he would argue with some of his teammates. He would argue against other teams. He would talk back to his teachers, and long story less long, he had a few opportunities to go into a state college, which, a lot of our state colleges are fairly competitive when it pertains to basketball. We were playing a team that was a rival team. It was a perfect time for him to stand out, be a leader in his own right. He had the potential to be a sound leader, but this was his opportunity to show everyone that he wasn't going to allow his emotional IQ dictate his path. And this would be an opportunity also to develop upon that emotional IQ so that stakeholders, parents, the community, and otherwise could see his potential and where he actually wanted to go. And rather, if he was committed to the hope and the aspiration of going to college. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. It turned out that he ended up arguing with someone again, speaking poorly of his coach, cursing his coach out. And unfortunately, the schools who were interested in recruiting him were at that game. Fast forward to them giving the parents a call. They said, unfortunately, although your child has a lot of the criteria that we're looking for from a physiological standpoint, from an academic standpoint, from a community engagement standpoint. However, his personality is not going to cut it for our program and the mission and vision for our program. Thus, we're going to go in a different direction. It was devastating, yet a teachable moment to all the aspiring athletes out there that you may have areas that you are excelling in, whether it's academically, whether it's, community engagement related and so forth. But if you don't have the emotional IQ and the respect and the integrity and the foresight to improve yourself intrinsically, coaches rather deal with someone who is somewhat proficient and under the advanced rating of, academic threshold, community engagement threshold, sound athlete. They rather deal with that versus someone who has all the criteria but is uncoachable, their emotional IQ is underdeveloped. So you have to think holistically in this fashion, and you have to focus on every part of you, including the development of your hard skills, soft skills, and your overall personality and emotional intelligence.